So, living in the insanity that is the 21st century, I think it's totally understandable that our mental and emotional health has gone haywire. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about why, and also about what the hell we can do about this. So, where to begin? I think a lot of us experience a lot of overwhelm, partially due to, we got this technological revolution that's happening, and we're switched on all the time through our phones, we're available all the time, and we are consuming copious amounts of information, often conflicting. It's like, how do you even know what to believe? Very difficult to switch off because, we get a kick out of being on our phones. There's the compulsive nature, the addictive nature to it, and we actually haven't really discovered what the long-term effects of this are going to be, but it definitely doesn't lead to a state of total peacefulness, because we're opening ourselves up to being available, and we turn on our phones, we don't know what information's coming through to us, and lots of things will have an emotional reaction, maybe a trigger, sometimes good, but not always, sometimes not great. Social media is a whole talk in itself, because there's the comparative tendencies, and it can spike our feelings of not being good enough to when obviously we're all showing our best lives, which isn't real life. Life comes up and down and round and round. So there's that. There's the glorification of busyness. In my world, I see that's subsiding, but I know that's not the case of everyone. There's it's cool if you're busy. It means you're working hard if you're busy all the time. So there's the glorification of busyness, and then there's we've got these connections on our phone. We're connected to everyone, but I hear from a lot of people the lack of community, the lack of deep, meaningful connection. If you're really down, is there someone you feel like you can call, or not? Part of that's internal, and our sometimes our worries of being a burden. But part of it is that we're connected to everyone, but not enough deep, meaningful connections with one individual. And then coming back to the overwhelm, there's just so much going on in our lives. Even if you think sustainability and being able to have a positive impact on the planet, if you want to consider that, along with living a healthy life, of having a successful career, having a loving relationship, having a social life, and then all the practical house stuff and just things that need to be done living, it's a lot. And I hear a lot of people choosing, I've done it too, choosing money over our health, doing, I think money's come to this place where it's become God, and we need it to live. But some people are working so hard that in the process they're sacrificing their health. And I think so this is something the vast majority of us do at some point. And hopefully, for many people it's actually they crash before they slow down. So let's try and avoid that happening and change our priorities. So what are we prioritizing? What do you think is more important than anything? The reality is, unless we have a happy, healthy body, mind, and soul, we can't enjoy any of it. So for me, health, I often see it as a priority. But I know I'm in a lucky position where I have that. Time is so valuable to so many of us. We're trying to fit as much as possible into as little time as possible. We all want these quick fixes. But any healthy practice, it doesn't have to be hours a day. Even just 15 minutes of something a day can make huge impacts if done regularly. So yeah, I think it's a lot living. There's change. At the time of recording this, there's the uprising of Black communities and white people allying with the Black community. This demand for justice and equality. so yeah, there's the social things, the cultural things going on. It's a lot, and I don't think any of us are taught emotional intelligence. So that's the capacity to recognize and to manage to navigate and express our emotions in a healthy manner, in a manner that we should be able to express them, but expressing them from a place that isn't distorted, because we all have our traumas, and everything we've experienced leaves its mark. So sometimes because of past traumas, we might not react in the best ways when things happen to us that remind us of it or trigger it. Or just we were never taught how to express emotions and what the hell to do with them, and to even know that we have feelings and emotions. We're taught how to take care of our physical body, we're taught to exercise the mind, but the emotions, there's not much talk about it. And I think with the masculine energy, there's this thing, don't show weakness. Don't show weakness. So there's that too. But unless we recognize that we have emotions and learn to express them healthily, we're going to either lash out on each other, or lash out on others, rely on them to make up for our feelings of inadequacy, or we'll self-implode and take it out on ourselves. There's so many ways this can happen. Or we isolate ourselves because we feel there's something wrong with us, and then we feel even worse, and it spirals out kind of in depressive tendencies, or even just generally having low moods. It doesn't have to be labeled depression. So there's that. So many things. So I just want to share some really easy, basic things that any of us can do. I practice a lot of mindfulness. Mindfulness has changed my life in teaching that capacity to respond rather than react, to become more deeply in tune with the signs of the body, so that you can recognize emotions and express them, or do whatever you need to do. Because ultimately our emotions are communicating things, are deeper things. We cannot control our emotions ultimately. We're going to feel the way we feel, and we have to recognize it and do what we need to do to take care of that, to take care of ourselves, to take responsibility for our well-being. So mindfulness has been a great tool for learning to embrace my emotions. I have a practice online at the moment. You should be able to find it if you go on my YouTube channel. It's the rain mindfulness practice. Excellent for navigating difficult emotions. If you can't find it, just message me and I will connect you with it. So there's that. Deep belly breaths is a great self-soothing technique, because it activates the soothing part of the nervous system. So really breathing slowly in and out of the belly can be a great self-soothing technique. And prioritizing your health and well-being, recognizing and finding hobbies or practices that help you to, enjoy life, to switch off from the mind, to be more present, whether it's, yoga, meditation, or whether it's going for a walk or some form of exercise, or group sports. Just something like movement is so important. It helps to shift things, and it can help us to get into the body. Some people need a bit more than any movement, but all of us will benefit from movement. Personally, I love just going for walks in nature. Nature itself is a great, lots of people find the walks in nature very soothing and regenerative. Barefoot, there's a lot of proponents of barefoot walking. Sometimes things to do with the rebalancing of the negative and the positive ions. I don't know the full details of that, but I fully, I walk barefoot all the time. I love it. It's also more of a sensational experience. But you can bring mindfulness into everyday life too. You could mindfully brush your teeth. Most of us don't. I'm doing much else when I'm brushing teeth, but really being present and feeling the sensations of the brush on your, really being really present with it, helping to cultivate mindfulness there. Or with any everyday practice that you find, or practical thing that you need to do that you find slightly tedious is a perfect opportunity for cultivating mindfulness. And being mindful of our phone usage is something I wanted to touch on. We are really sensitive first thing in the morning, so having a couple of hours without your phone makes such a big difference. And also, same at night, it's super stimulating having an hour or two before bed without your phone. Also great habit, but you could actually, I recommend being very mindful of your phone usage, and being aware every time you go onto social media, you are opening yourself up to lots of emotional triggers. Things are good there, you'll find things that will upset you, things that will make you feel inadequate. And check in with yourself, am I in a space to be fucking coping with this right now, So there's that, and checking in with the body is a great thing, anytime during the day, going in and checking how's my body feeling, noticing any areas of tension, of tightness, of constriction, of discomfort, and seeing is there anything bothering me, what could be the possible reason for this, and exploring that. So yeah, those are some basic tools and techniques I've got for you there. If you want to go a little bit deeper, I have a couple of free resources on my website. Kind of quick start guides if we're helping with like depression, low moods, another one for body image and healthy eating habits, and another one for developing healthy relationships. So if you do want to dive a bit deeper, check on my website or message me or something, and I can connect you with those. Just get your happiness and health a kickstart. Because we all have access to these things. We just, need someone to show us. So those are there if you need them. In the meantime, wishing you a beautiful day and sending